Just kidding.
You're listening to the Midday Show on KEXP at 90.3 FM in Seattle, online round the world at kexp.org, and already seconds into being on the air, James Mercer is making me laugh. James, it's great to have you here.
Hey, thanks. Great to be here.
James Mercer of The Shins is my guest in studio today, and going to play some new songs and maybe an old one or two.
Yeah, I think I'll start with an oldie.
Okay, let's play Name That
Shall
Tune.
we? Okay, cut right to it. Born to multiply, born to gaze into night sky. All you want's one more Saturday. Well, look here unto then, they're gonna buy your life's time. So keep your wick in the air and your feet in the feathers till the day we come in doing cartwheels. We all collide by ourselves, and your shape on the dance floor will let me think of such filth and gouge my eyes. You'd be damned to be one of us, girl, facing the daughter's conundrum. See, I felt like I could just fly, but nothing happens every time I try. Do a tone on the wall, selfish fool who hoped he'd save us all. He never dreamt of such still hands, so keep them folded in your lap, or raise them up to beg for scraps. You know he's holding you down with the tips of his fingers, just the same. Will you be pulled from the ocean, but just a minute too late, all changed by a potion, and find a handsome young maid for you to love. You'd be damned to pining through the window panes. You know you'd trade your life for any ordinary Joe. Well, do it now or grow old, 'cause your nightmares only need a year or two to unfold. Since January, I try and make like this is so much fun, but we know it to be quite contrary. La 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 la. Dare to be one of us, girl, facing the android's conundrum. See, I felt like I could just cry, but nothing happened every time I take one on the chin. You're in your coat, you don't know how long I've been watching the lighting dim, star of oxygen. Oh, give me your hand and let's jump out the window. La 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 la. So beautiful. James Mercer of The Shins live here on KEXP. And a beautiful old track there from Wincing the Night Away. Right, yeah, Australia.
The last Shins record. And it's been about 5 years since you released a Shins record. And I know that you've been doing a ton of other stuff, and I am dying to talk about the upcoming album, Port of Morrow. But tell us what you've been up to the last 5 years, because you've released music, you've acted in a film, you've done some soundtrack stuff. That's just sort of the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, all those things. Yeah, this acting in Matt McCormick's movie Some Days Are Better Than Others was fun and challenging.
And you co-starred in that with Carrie Brownstein, right?
Yeah, right.
And did I hear that you actually went the extra mile and took some acting lessons and really dug into it?
Yeah. Yes, Matt made me do that. Yeah,
Okay.
It's true. Yeah, and it was really fun actually, and I don't know, it was interesting. I sort of learned certain things about my personality even. So it's such a weird thing, acting, I think.
for me.
Is that something you'd like to do more of if the opportunity arises?
If it was some cool thing and it was the right thing, yeah, totally. You know, it was really
Maybe not.
It's a creative project, you know, and so you do get in there and you have to perform. So there's some correlation, you know, with the music thing. But
if Transformers 4 comes along.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome too.
I'll be Optimus Prime.
And I know that you worked on the project Dark Night of the Soul with Sparkle Horse and Danger Mouse, which was a really cool project with a lot of cool guests like David Lynch.
Yeah.
And is that how you actually met Brian and then that evolved into Broken Bells? Or?
No, I mean, I had known Brian since shortly after he did the Grey album. He was a Shins fan, and you know, he went to school in Athens, Georgia, and was sort of part of that scene that I was totally in love with while I was in Albuquerque. The you know, Elephant Six sort of neo hippie pop thing that was going on there, and he loved all that sort of stuff. I think he recognized some of that in the Shins and was a fan. He came backstage when we were playing in Copenhagen at a festival there. And that's when I first met him. So then after Wincing, I wanted to do something different. I just wanted to try a new project. And he was in sort of a similar mode and came up with the idea of doing Broken Bells. Let's do a band together. And it was sort of perfect timing for both of us, I think.
And you really made a commitment to that band. I mean, and that's maybe one of the reasons why it's been a while since the Shins has released music, because you went on tour and it was really cool. You guys played a bunch of shows together.
Yeah. Right, and sorry, because I kind of got sidetracked, but so it was Dark Night of the Soul happened during the Broken Bells project.
Oh,
that's what I was trying to get
see.
at. Yeah.
And do you think there might be more collaboration with Danger Mouse?
Yeah, we've got songs that are, I mean, some that are pretty much done that will probably end up on the next record, and so, I mean, you know, he's busy too. He's doing this U2 thing, and I've got to tour and promote this record, and after that, we'll probably find time to get together and do another record.
It sounds like your calendar is filling up already. It's only February.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's, for the first time in my life, I sort of can see this schedule that goes out about 5 years for me.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I know that it's good for us because it means a lot more coming from you. And how about another song?
Okay, sure. This is September off of the new record, Port of Morrow.
Into this strange elastic world, Pontus kindly gave up a pearl of his eternal stone and mud. And ain't she lovely, bone and blood, born of the sea, 1,000 miles away from me. A port of angels, ward of the sun, and a future forming, a curse undone. Under our softly burning lamps, she takes her time, telling stories of our possible lives. And love is the ink in the well when her body writes. I've been selfish and full of pride. She knows deep down there's a little child, and I got a good side to me as well, and it's that she loves in spite of everything else. A song from the tree has distracted her mind. Some other curious form of life has made its presence to her known, and she coos so gently, soft and low, her shining face in a million reflections on tiny raindrops that fall in a veil over our city like notes from above, and it overwhelms me. I just ain't that tough. It It's not that the darkness can't touch our lives. I know it will in time. But she's no ordinary Valentine. And now, when the sun goes down, she sheds a darling light. I've been selfish and full of pride. She knows deep down there's a little child, but I got a good side to me as well, and it's that she loves in spite of everything else.
So beautiful. It's James Mercer of The Shins live on KEXP, and that song September from the new album Port of Morrow, and that comes out on March 20th.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's so great to hear that. We've been playing Simple Song a lot, but we're dying to hear the whole album, and we've got a few more weeks to wait. But you are the king of the beautiful pop gem, James.
Boy, okay.
I'm just going to throw that out there. One of the features, or one of the many features of a great pop song, is it seems effortless. But I'm guessing it's not as easy as it looks. Is it hard year after year to keep, I mean, you've been doing it for over a decade now, writing and creating these beautiful songs. Is it a lot of effort?
Yeah, yes. I mean, you know, it's kind of, at the same time, it's something I really enjoy, you know, sitting and playing guitar and trying to come up with those little hook moments, you know. So that's easy, but sort of shoehorning them into a pop format and making, you know, nice segues and stuff, for me, is quite a bit of work. And the lyrics and stuff, I mean, yeah.
And the lyrics and stuff.
I feel like, in a way, it's like, because somebody asked me the other day, like, do you ever get writer's block? And I'm like, I think I just always have writer's block, really. And it's just, you have to just work. You just work, and it's, you know, I don't know. It's just always a challenge.
You have 10 songs coming out on the new album. Do you write a lot more songs that end up on the album, or do you just really hone in on, you know, close to as many as end up there?
I get pretty close to, you know, a structure for maybe, I don't know, 15 to 20 songs. You know, get them pretty close. And then from that, I kind of make decisions about what I should really spend my time on for this next record or whatever. In this case, it ended up being 12 songs that we really fleshed out, 10 of which are on the record, and then we got 2 extras, B-sides, something.
The Simple Song, which we've been playing a ton, as I mentioned, is phenomenal, and it's really upbeat. Is that what we can expect on the rest of the record, or you kind of cover a lot of different ground there?
I mean, it's a mix again, I think. You know, there's kind of a real pop ballad on there, which for the first time, I think. There's a number of different styles. There's sort of a, I don't know, what I consider sort of an avant-garde and slightly aggressive song. There's a real psychedelic song. There's a bunch of stuff.
And I think, well, in the past, I know at least Wincing the Night Away, writing and recording has been somewhat of a solitary process for you, or you've done most of that on your own, maybe not in the studio recording, but...
Well, I mean, I think really I come up with the big ideas and you know, the song structures and stuff, and really, I mean, I rely on my friends to help me make it all cool, you know? So, you know, I really wouldn't, I can't really exaggerate or anything the importance of having the help of my friends and musicians and stuff. And Greg Kirsten on this record was just incredible.
And you traveled down to L.A. to record this one.
Yeah, well, started the process at home in my studio.
In Portland.
Just sort of, yeah, in Portland, getting my ideas together, figuring out, you know, like the structures. We recorded some drums. I mean, there's some stuff that ends up on the record, you know, but then pretty quickly it's down to L.A. and working with Greg.
And how long did you go back and forth? How long did it take to complete this?
From April until November.
Okay.
You know,
and that was just last year.
Yeah.
So just recently finished. The new album is Port of Morrow. It comes out on March 20th, and I'd love to hear another song. Okay.
I'll do the current single, Simple Song.
Well, this is just a simple song to say what you done. I told you about all those fears and the way they did run. You sure must be strong, and you feel like an ocean made warm by the sun. When I was just 9 years old, I swear that I dreamt your face on a football field and a kiss that I kept under my vest. Apart from everything, with the heart in my chest, I know that things can really get rough when you go it alone. So don't go thinking you gotta be tough, play like a stone. Could be there's nothing else in our lives so critical as this little home. Whoa, whoa. My life in an upturned boat, marooned on a cliff. You brought me a great big flood, and you gave me a lift. Girl, what a gift. You tell me with your tongue, and your breath goes in my lungs, and we float over the rift. I know that things can really get rough when you go it alone. But don't go thinking you gotta be tough, play like a stone. Could be there's nothing else in our lives so critical as this little home. So this is just a simple song to say what you done. I told you about all those fears and the way they did run. You sure must be strong, and you feel like an ocean made warm by the sun. Remember walking the mile to your house, aglow in the dark. I made a fumbling play for your heart, and the axe struck a spark. You wore a charm on the chain that I stole, special for you. Love's such a delicate thing that we do with nothing to prove, which I never knew.
James Mercer of The Shins with the song Simple Song from the upcoming album Port of Morrow. And that's coming out March 20th on Columbia Records and also your label Oral Apothecary. Yeah. And aside from the obvious benefits to having a record out on your own label, I'm wondering if you're going to use the label to release music from other people, or as one of our listeners from Pennsylvania emailed this morning and asked me to ask you, is any Flake music going to be reissued?
I was just on the phone, actually, with Neil and Marty talking about that. Yeah, we're planning on compiling sort of our favorite Flake songs and putting that out on Oral Apothecary. Yeah, so yeah, watch for it. Not sure when. But.
Well, that'll be great. And I know you are super busy, as you just laid out your calendar for the next 2 to 5 years for us. But is there a plan possibly to use that as a vehicle to release music from other bands?
I mean, I think I sometimes fantasize about doing that. I'm just so busy, but that'd be cool, you know? I mean, I think sometimes it'd be cool to produce a Portland band and put their stuff out. Maybe, we'll see.
Well, you can leave that open for the future.
Yes.
And when I was actually Googling to find the release date of Port of Morrow, I came across the fact that that's actually a real thing. I think I thought that was a play on words for the word tomorrow, but Port of Morrow is actually a real place on the Columbia River.
Right, yeah. And it was that sign that sort of would lead you to the place that I saw that evoked, I don't know, this strange imagery in my mind about some point of no return, or, you know, the port to your final destination, I guess. So, yeah, it was kind of a great little hook in my mind, and ended up being a lyric in one of the songs and then the title of the record.
And you live in Portland, as we've mentioned, and KEXP has a library where we separate things into different genres and categories, and we have a special section just for local music. For a really long time, because you were from Albuquerque, we had you in the general rock and pop music section, but we eventually had to move you over because now you've been nigh on a decade down in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
and
my kids are born in Portland.
Yes, they're natives, but that's obviously been a good move for you. Do you feel like a Northwesterner now?
Yeah, I do. I feel a sort of, you know, that strange sort of almost allegiance to the whole idea of being a Northwesterner. I really love it, and, you know, I don't know. I have a sense of wanting to promote it almost, you know, because I think it's such a good place, good part of the world.
Well, we're proud to have you here in our neighborhood, and we thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you very much.
James Mercer of The Shins here in the KEXP studios, and his new album, Port of Morrow, comes out on March 20th.
Died in the war you've been, cornered by a natural desire. You wanna hop along with the giddy throng through life, but how you learn to steer when you're grinding all your gear. And you've been talking for hours. You say time will wash every tower to the sea, and now you've got this worry in your heart. Well, I guess it's only life, it's only natural. We all spend a little while going down the rabbit hole, but the things they taught you, they're lining up to haunt you. They got you back against the wall. Call you on the telephone, won't you pick up the receiver? I've been down the very road you walking now. It doesn't have to be so dark and lonesome. Takes a while, but we can figure this thing out and turn it back around. You used to be such a lion before you got into all this crying on my lap. Back when you thought I'd never get this far, but did you really think I'd shut an open door? The future's calling, I'ma answer. The wheels in motion, I never drank your potion, and I know it breaks your heart. Open up your parachute, something's gotta stop the free fall. I've been down the very road you're walking now. It doesn't have to be so dark and lonesome. It takes a while, this thing out and turn it back around.
You're listening to KEXP Seattle.